Making millions of dollars has never been easier. In the past, for you to make so much money, you had to build a real business, maybe open up a factory or work super hard for the rest of your life. But today, if you understand how the system works and if you take the right strategy, I guarantee you that making millions of dollars is a lot easier than you imagine. There are different ways to make money, but one of the most fundamental ways to do that is by manufacturing something. So you have factories across the globe that make everything that we're using. This pen, for example, was manufactured by a factory. This microphone was manufactured by a factory. And this is a great way to make money because you're adding direct value to the society. You're literally giving value to other people. The second way to make money is through services. And a software is a great example. If you pull out your phone right now, there might be a lot of apps, and every single app is probably offering you a service. A bank is offering you a service, and in exchange for that service, you're paying them money. The more services they offer you, the more money you're paying them. But there is a third way to make money, and that is through financials. Think about how Wall Street makes money. What exactly Wall Street does? Does Wall Street manufactures iPhones, technology, or anything like that or whatsoever? Does Wall Street offers any kind of real services that most people use? No. And yet they're making billions of dollars, probably even trillions of dollars. We probably don't even know the scope of how much money they make. The way they make money is that they turn money into more money through financial markets. And when you understand that, you understand how the system has changed over time, that this is by far the easiest ways to make money. I'm not actually justifying that way of making money, but it's 100% legal. So if you understand the system and you want to get rich, you want to make millions of dollars this year, then why not use that method? Over the last few decades, our economy has been deeply financialized. And that means that now everything is financialized. Everything is in terms of money. So money is being moved from one person to another person, from one company into another company. And while you're watching this video right now, there are trillions of dollars being moved across the globe. By the time this video is over, you have no idea how much money has been moved in this 5, 10, or 15 minutes, depends on how long this video is going to be. And that means that every single time money moves, that means somebody has earned money. But a problem with that is that it always requires liquidity to keep the system expanding. As our economy expands, as we build more factories, as we build more businesses, as we take more and more debt, it means that the size of the economy is growing. Just look at the US GDP 10 years ago and today. Look at the US GDP 3 years ago and today. You'll see that it has risen. But every single time that GDP is growing, because the system is deeply financialized, it needs liquidity, it needs cash. So the Federal Reserve constantly pumps money into the economy to prevent the economy from collapsing. Let me give you an example. So imagine you have a bank that has a lot of money. Now, if suddenly in a single day, everybody will come to that bank to withdraw their money, what do you think is going to happen to that bank? The bank is going to default, which means that the system or the Federal Reserve has to pump cash constantly into the economy to prevent that financial stress. And that means that liquidity always leads to higher asset prices. So if you understand the system, now you understand which assets are always going to grow. So the way you win in this economy is basically, instead of holding all that money in cash, you're simply keep buying these assets. You might have just a regular paycheck to paycheck job. But if you just use that paycheck wisely by buying assets, then your wealth is going to exponentially grow. So imagine you have $1 billion. Now, I know it's difficult to imagine, but let's assume for a moment that you have this $1 billion and you're going to go to JP Morgan and deposit your $1 billion. JP Morgan can now loan that money to someone else. But why would they do that? Well, that's the job of JP Morgan. It's a bank. The job of the bank is to take money from one group of people, from people who have money, and offer loans. And these loans could be in form of mortgages, auto loans, you name it. Let's suppose that JP Morgan gives a loan to somebody whose name is John. Now, John is going to take that money and is going to go and buy himself a yacht. Now, this person that sold his yacht just received $1 billion. But walking around with $1 billion is not actually a wise thing to do. You can easily get robbed. And let's be honest, $1 billion is a lot of money, especially if it's cash. Now, John goes to Chase and is going to deposit his $1 billion in Chase. Now, Chase has $1 billion. What Chase is going to do? Chase is going to loan that $1 billion to someone else. Let's stop for a moment and ask ourselves a very simple question. How much money is there in the economy? 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, and 4 billion. So in total, JP Morgan has $2 billion and Chase has $2 billion. But how much cash is there in the economy? Just $1 billion. What question does that raise? It basically means that there is far more money in the economy than the amount of real money that is there in the economy, or the amount of cash that is there in the economy. So as the economy keeps expanding, that leaves the Federal Reserve with no other option but to keep expanding money supply. That's why every single year your dollars can buy a lot less things. The question is that, what are the consequences of that? First of all, you are going to get a lot poorer because the value of the dollars that you're holding evaporates over time. Now, sometimes I get comments that, oh, you're telling me not to hold cash, and yet here is Warren Buffett sitting on $400 billion. Now, here's what people don't understand is that Warren Buffett is not sitting on $400 billion worth of cash. That cash is cash equivalent. It means that instead of investing that money in stocks, he has invested that money in the US Treasuries. US Treasuries means that Warren Buffett has given $400 billion worth of loans to the US government, and in exchange, he's receiving constant interest. How much interest? Just check the yields. So he's investing in short-term treasuries, like 3-month treasuries, 6-month treasuries. It means that he's constantly receiving cash from the US government, but he can easily liquidate those treasuries into cash if he wants to use that money to invest in any kind of assets or any kind of business. So if you're holding cash, if you're saving money, if you have a fixed paycheck, you know that this system is essentially created to make you a loser. So as long as this system exists, there is no way that you can actually become rich if you're in a fixed paycheck. And that means that the best way to win in this system is to invest in the stock market or any other markets, because the markets over time are going to rally. And I will just give you a very simple example to illustrate the point. So if you look at gold prices over the last 6 months, you see that they've actually grown. Yes, there are fluctuations, but overall prices are growing. But let me tell you a secret. No one is actually buying gold. Wait a second, if no one is buying gold, why gold prices are rising so much? The truth is that the vast majority of gold is being held by central banks. So the US central bank, or the United States in general, has about 8,000 or 9,000 metric tons of gold. Do you think the US government is selling that gold? No way. China has around 3,000 metric tons of gold. Do you think China is selling that gold? No way. And the same thing could be said about any other country. So why is gold prices are rising so fast? And that's because Wall Street is basically speculating on futures. So they're buying a contract that says that I can actually buy an X amount of gold at this specific price sometime in the future. So when the price of gold rises, they can basically sell that contract. So Wall Street basically traded gold without even owning gold at all. So gold is not moving from anybody. Gold is still in its place. But Wall Street can keep making billions of dollars, even hundreds of billions of dollars, by trading gold without ever owning gold. And that's not just the case with gold, that is the case with oil. Think about it for a moment. On one side, you have rich countries that have a lot of oil, they're selling oil. So they might be making a lot of money. On the other side, you have people who need oil to run their factories or countries. So they're paying for that oil. Do you think the person or the country that is selling the oil is making money? They're making some money. But the true winners are Wall Street, because they are trading that oil and they're making so much money without even owning a single drop of oil. What I'm trying to tell you is that the economy is deeply financialized. So the only way to make so much money in the fastest way possible is to win or play the game they are playing. And every single time money is being moved from one place into another, there is a transfer of wealth. So you see that gold prices have increased, wealth changed hands. Then gold prices crashed over here, wealth changed hands. The same thing happened over here, and so on and so forth. But here's what you have to understand is that the market always moves for a reason. It doesn't just collapses out of nowhere. There is a reason that leads the market to crash. And then there is a reason that pushes the market to rally. So if you understand the logic behind everything, suddenly you can actually start making wise investments and you can build up your wealth and you can make more money than ever. Let me show you a couple of examples. So back in July of 2025, when gold prices were about $3,300, I made a video literally that you should be buying gold, or at least I will be buying gold. And the video is still there. You can literally just go and watch the video right after this video. I told you that there is literally no other way in this economy but for gold prices to keep rising farther and farther. Guess what exactly happened right after I made that video? Gold prices have almost crossed $6,000. Yes, they have temporarily collapsed to $4,600, but overall that happened. Did I predict that? No. I basically understand how the system works. I made the video and I explained how the system works and I told you why that happens, which is exactly what happened. Well, that was basically a coincidence. Let me tell you one more thing. Around 10 days ago, gold prices have collapsed. You can see that they went probably from $5,800 to as low as $4,300. I literally made a video on the 25th of March and I explained why gold prices need to rise again and why that is going to happen. Guess what happened right after that? Gold prices have increased. In fact, I even told everybody in the private group to buy gold when that is going to happen. And guess what? Everybody who purchased gold, they actually made a lot of money. So there is always a reason why prices rise. Gold is basically one example. The same logic actually applies to stocks. The same logic applies to other commodities. All you have to do is to understand how the financial markets works. Now you might say that whatever crashes will eventually rise. That's how you predicted it. So you basically, it crashed, you told to buy it, and then it actually risen. Just because the price of asset has crashed, it doesn't mean that it's going to rise. Let me give you an example. So back in December or last year, there has been a lot of talks about silver prices, and silver prices were growing so fast. And just by looking at this picture, I instantly realized that there is a lot of manipulation going on here. So on the 30th of December, I make a video telling everybody that you should not be buying silver. The video is still here on my channel. You can literally just go and watch the video. What happens right after that? Silver prices explode and I got so much hate from people that I don't understand anything about the market. Guess what happens? Silver prices right after that crash. In fact, the irony is that in the video, I specifically mentioned that silver prices will crash by the end of January or the beginning of February, which is exactly what happened. They literally crashed the moment I told you that they are going to crash. Now, right after that crashed, in our investing academy, I got a lot of questions from people that, you see, silver prices crashed. Should I be buying silver right now? The bubble is over, so maybe from now onwards, it is going to be a good investment. I got so many questions. I wrote a post on the 5th of March telling everybody that, should you buy silver? Absolutely no. And then I wrote a very long post explaining why you should not be buying silver. Look at silver prices. There is no more bubble. They're not actually growing. In fact, they're stagnating and they won't be growing in the foreseeable future. Now, here's the question. How did I know that? Am I some kind of a person that sees the future? Well, of course not. That's because the financial markets are always very predictable. You can't time the market exactly. You can't say on this specific day, this is exactly what is going to happen. It's impossible to do that because you need to know everything that is there in the world. But if you know that, then that is called insider trading, which is absolutely illegal. But what you can do is to understand how the market works, and that will tell you the trajectory of where the market is moving to. And that's how you can actually place your investments, and that's how you actually start making a lot of money. So it doesn't matter. You might be on a 9-to-5 job. You might run your business. But if you're not in the markets, if you're not investing, if you're not buying stocks and gold, then you're losing in this economy. So if you want to know what are the best investments to make, then join the Investing Academy. The link is in the description of this video.